welcome. Under the canopy of the stars, a stronghold broods between the mountains, implacable to its enemies. Raven soars above the deep forests, guarding its boundaries, and wolf prowls the limits of its reach. Nestled beneath its shadow, the people are waiting for a sign. Wind spirals the clouds into ragged shadows, cloaks of the Nornir approaching. Fate is descending upon the high hall. As the carriage of night passes overhead, she pauses to watch a single torch lit above the entrance, warm gold against the black sky. This is the sign the people have been waiting for. Tongue of flame announcing the birth of a new hero, born this night to lead them through the rise and fall of the turning wheel of time. Not for so the night is called, draws her cloak back to reveal the chariot of the moon on high. The moon is witness to the blessings of this new-born child. Helgi is his name. The Nornir gather and fix the threads of fate from the lofty beams of the moon's hall to the land beneath, listening for the song of the runes echoing across the vault of the sky, touching the very edges of the void Gnunga Gap. It is the song that yields the unfolding of the story, the current of fate, the course of destiny. Catching hold of its power, the Nornir take it up, weaving the song into the birth runes, snatching this moment out of the current and making it magic, making it the place where a soul can know its greatest destiny, where the life of one individual can run like a thread of pure light through the tapestry of being and change it forever. This is a story from the Poetic Edda of how the great hero Helgi was born into a world of magic and runes, of fate and chaos, of complex relationships, before the black and white of good and evil, or the lie that the things that matter in life are actually someone else's problem. How many times have you heard the dull thud of the destiny our society offers you? A normal life, a conventional life, a safe life, a mediocre life, one where you fit in snugly, unobtrusively, quietly, producing and consuming until the day you die. The legacy of our society is a good one in many ways. If you are watching this video right now, then you have access to more resources than Helgi, the great hero from the Poetic Edda, had in his whole lifetime. It has created the potential for so many more of us to become heroes, whilst luring us into the belief that heroism and idealism are unnecessary and childlike and even dangerous. As the Nornir gather to bless each of us as we pass into this world, the very things that make us safe and comfortable muffle their song. Our society no longer greets us as heroes. My name is Maggie Rose Cunningham, and I'm the founder of Maggin Rose, and I'm a runic astrologer and have been for the last 13 years. It is not a destiny that I sought. My first love was the runes, but it is one that I love. Every Monday morning, I connect with people from all over the world to share the practice of runic astrology and rune reading. Really, I should say rune listening. The word runemal means rune speech. And that is what we are learning how to do, how to listen for the mythic song of our lives, how to sense the energy that is available to us and how to embrace it. Runic astrology is different to rune readings that pose a single question that we then throw the runes down and we seek answers to it. It is the practice of tuning in to the energetic field referred to by the ancient peoples of Northern Europe as weird, to unleash the fullest potential of the moment. And it brings together three things. So it brings together the energy available to you as an individual right now, which is normally best accessed through drawing a single rune. It then draws on the energy of the planets moving through the runic wheel, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, which create the current or flow of weird within which we are moving. It's the collective weird. And then we have the energy of your birth runes, which when worked with, keep you on course to the destiny the Nornir saw for you, the fates saw for you when you were born. Not a single moment, not one task to be performed, not a series of events that are laid out in front of you for your life, but an unfolding story that is beautifully, soulfully, magnificently yours. So if you're watching this video, the chances are that you have already joined me for Middle Earth readings, where I share insights about the movements of the planets each week, and I offer wisdom from the rune that you have selected for yourself for the coming week. And this is a really beautiful practice and a wonderful way to get to know your runes. I definitely recommend a single rune reading, particularly as the way to get to know your runes intimately. Now, when you start to work with runic astrology, we work with the runic wheel. Now, the story of Helgi tells us about the golden threads that were placed across the vault of the sky by the Nornir, which whenever I read the myth always speaks to me of the reading of the movements of the stars. But we do not have a complete astrological system passed down to us through the northern peoples. We know that almost every ancient culture in the world had some form of oracular practice using the stars, but we don't know what the northern peoples would have been. So the runic wheel, as I use it, was a system created by Nigel Pennick, who did a lot of work at the history of the runes and the history of the calculation of time by the northern peoples, and he constructed the system that I work with, which uses the runes place the runes of the Elder Futhark, so the 24 runes positioned around the ecliptic, and the planets then move through this wheel. And the lovely visual that you have here of the wheel of the runes is very reminiscent of other types of astrology, so zodiac astrology, which look like they're very sort of calculated, and you click into one rune symbol. And to a certain extent that is true. We do our calculations and we do them very precisely, but I want you to bear in mind that the runes are sounds. So it is more like imagining the voices of the runes singing from the edges of the great void, the Ginunga gap, distributed in this great circle, and coming in. And as the planets in our solar system move through that field of sound, they bring their own frequencies, their own resonances into that space, and they create a unique song. And so that's the practice of runic astrology, is reading how that song connects us with the flow of weird. And when you get to your birth runes, what we're doing is we're looking at that song that was out there at the moment of your birth and was then captured by the Nornir with Helgi, seeing that as being the golden threads that fix that in place. The Nornir are there to say, this moment, this potent moment, your soul chose to be born, to step through the gateways into Midgard in that moment. Did so for a reason. So you can see here that this little visual which shows you the positions of your birth runes. There are two more, which I'll talk you through in a moment. But in the center, you have Earth, and that's your first thread, runes. So you have a rune. And your first thread was the horizon line at the point of your birth, the anchor. We have the position of the moon, Mani's chariot. So We have Mani's chariot, we have Suna's chariot. So the planets were seen as being drawn by the chariots of the gods. And then we have Odin's chariot, which is Mercury, Frigga's chariot, which is Venus, Loki's chariot, Saturn, Thor's chariot, Jupiter, Tyr's chariot, Mars, Aegea's chariot, which is Neptune, Ur's chariot, Uranus, and Hela's chariot, Pluto. You also have your Nornia's gift, the gift from the fates themselves, and that is the hour of your birth. And you then have your North Node and your South Node, which are not in the pretty visual there. So you have 14 birth runes that come together to form this web of energy that is captured by the Nornia for you and draws you towards your heroic destiny through the course of your lifetime. So to weave powerfully with destiny, I would invite you to journey back into the moment of your birth with Birth Runes Soul Journey. This is a program that supports you in 4 ways. So you receive your personal birth runes report. So more than the pretty chart there, no matter how pretty the chart is, it's sort of normally about 24 pages taking you through what each of those positions, what each of your runes is, what that means. It also takes you through the hall, which is the equivalent of the zodiac signs that comes from Freya Aswin's work, and the halves of the Asinur, which are like the houses in the zodiac. And it also provides you with self-study resources that you can work through in your own time for every aspect of runic astrology. So you can get to understand the system. It's all there. So you can go into that as deeply or as little as you like. Secondly, we have a bank of guided meditations. This opens an initiatory experience for you. We have our knowledge. That's great, the first step, but we want to experience the runes and the position of the planets and those halves and those halls as initiatory experiences that you pass through in order to connect with your birth runes and the energies of the planets and the halves and the Disir associated with them. And this is an incredibly powerful part of runic astrology, which is available because the runes are energies. They are energies, they're not just symbols with meanings attached to them, so we can move in resonance with them. I said they're sounds, so we can work with them in many different forms to connect us energetically with our destiny, rather than just saying, oh, this is a character trait and now I understand that. We can move deeper and deeper into relationship with the runes. So the third thing that the program provides for you is it helps you to pursue what I term as your sovereign pathway, the pathway of your soul, which isn't just here a series of appointments with destiny that you will now follow. It's a co-created experience of working with your birth runes to access your greatest potential, and that you choose to step into them at what time you do that, when you do that. So that's done through a one-to-one deep dive session with me. So we provide your report for you, and the report is created manually. There's no all singing, all dancing flash system that does it. We do this manually for you. And then you have your one-to-one session where we look at all of your birth runes together and we say, what do the patterns tell us about what is coming to the fore right now? Which ones want to speak to you right now? Which ones want to work with you right now? So you have that one-to-one session. And then everyone who is on the Birth Runes Soul Journey program has access to monthly group coaching sessions. We call them Coach and Connect sessions, where we come together and we talk through and work with different aspects of your birth runes, different parts of your birth runes, and you can ask questions, and there is a theme. So we go deeper and deeper, so you can build month on month on month, year on year on year on your birth runes. It's a journey. This is why it's called Soul Journey. And then your fourth piece is connection to the collective wisdom of others, which is a really important part of the process of all of my programs. These people are like you, journeying with their birth runes. So we have a private community hosted on Facebook where people will come and they share how they're going. That's also where our coaching sessions are hosted. They happen in Zoom, but they are also broadcasted into our Facebook group, so you can pick them up anytime that you want to. And you have like lifetime access to this group and to the coaching sessions as long as Mag and Rose carries on going. And I've been in business for almost 13 years now, so I am not planning to go anywhere soon. So you have all of those things, plus you have membership of Suna's Star Wheel, which I'm going to talk to you about in a moment. So here are some things that have been said by people who have worked with me on their birth runes. So this sense that connecting with the work in this way, the longing, a dream coming true, a tradition that's being reclaimed and revisioned, and it is being reclaimed and revisioned. There are parts that do come from the law, like the legend of Helgi, and there are parts that are being revisioned for a modern society, for the way that we think and we experience and what we're looking at through the runic wheel, for example. So thank you for this amazing reading and for all the work you have done to be able to offer this and other services. Now of all times we need it more than ever. And I do believe that these ancient spiritualities are resurfacing powerfully now, not to say go back into the past, but to say actually now is the time when that connection to the earth and to the stars and to the spiritual side of humanity is incredibly important. So then we have, for me, the birth rune report has answered questions that I've been carrying around for years, if not for most of my life. It put the setbacks and the apparent failures in perspective. Most of all, it provided a guiding light, a red thread, whatever you want to call it, leading directly to my soul purpose. And that is the intention behind the birth runes, is to draw you deeper and deeper into that sense of fulfillment, of yourself as a part of the divine unfolding of the universe. We're the destiny, we're the fate that you get to co-create with Weird. Listening to your voice talking about my birth runes, this is from our one-to-one sessions, and Oracle was so exciting and fulfilling. It is hard to describe. It has really touched my soul. And I have to say that everything you've said about me really describes my character and soul so truly that it's even frightening in a good way. It's almost like you know me so well. And that is always, it's so important for us, that sense of being known and being seen, not just by people around us, but by the ancestral traditions that our hearts are longing for. That sense that they see us and they understand us and they want to be there for us. So if you are still working on getting to know your runes, if you're like, I'm a little bit, you don't need to have a really in-depth understanding of every single rune to enjoy Birth Rune's Soul Journey, but you don't want to be a complete beginner to the Birth Runes, because the focus of this program is much more on the planets and the halls and the hearths and on the birth runes. So you will want to have some idea of, I understand Urus and its meanings to a certain extent, and therefore I'm going to be able to experience that rune through the lens of runic astrology. So if you are still working on getting to know the basic meanings of your runes, then you may want to start with a gentle paddle in the waters of Weird and runic astrology before embarking on your soul journey with the birth runes. So you can purchase Suna's Star Wheel, which offers a range of resources. So you will receive a monthly email from Megan Rose, taking you through the movement of every planet through the runic wheel, where they all are, where they're going to move to through the course of the month, what that's going to mean. There are other resources in there as well. So you have our self-calculation toolkit for the birth rune, so that if you are mathematically minded, not everybody is, but if you are mathematically minded, you can calculate your own birth runes. You can make a little bit of a start there as well. And we have some sacred play resources there as well for you, so that you can start to play with runic astrology and intention setting and working with the flow of Weird in that way. So this is a really good starter piece. It's a great companion piece if you join me for Middle Earth readings as well, so that you can see what's coming for the month ahead and you can start to plan and work with your runes yourself. Now, if you're thinking, but I want to do Birth Rune Soul Journey, but I also want to receive an email that tells me everything that's happening with runic astrology, and that sounds good as well, Birth Rune Soul Journey comes with a year-long subscription to Sooner Star Wheel as a gift. So you will still get access to that as well. So you can buy Sooner Star Wheel separately, or you can go straight in for Birth Rune Soul Journey. We are living in a time in desperate need of earth-connected, spirit-guided heroes. So if you know that destiny is calling, but you're not able to untangle its voice from the noise, then step into a space that is dedicated to that purpose, held by the runes and facilitated with care and a healthy dose of magic. Birth Rune Soul Journey is open for you to join right now.